Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're getting right into the December love reading for the sign of Aries. Alright Aries, you're up. I've already been shuffling for quite some time, meditating on your energy for December, so we're going to get right into pulling out your Celtic Cross spread. And I'm curious what your reading holds for you, because December readings have so far been quite interesting, very powerful. A lot of powerful cards coming out. So let's just see. Aries. What is going on for Aries December 2019? Show me. And then once we're done with this spread, I will pull 4 more cards to clarify. Straight out, we have 8 of Cups, covered by King of Cups. Whew. All right. 3 of Cups in your conscious. In the back of your mind, you resonate with Temperance, Sagittarian energy. You have a Knight of Pentacles coming in. Let's move this over. And you come out of December with a Page of Wands. You enter the month with Queen of Pentacles, and you're met with King of Pentacles. Wow. All right. Hopes and dreams. You have Justice coming out, and in your position here, you have 3 of Swords. Now, 3 of Swords came out earlier for, I believe it was Scorpio or Sagittarius. I think it may have been Sagittarius, yes. So, Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck. A gesture, a desire to express your love to someone, right? Just a token of your love, a token of your affection. You want to hand it to someone. Page of Cups talks about pursuing a new love, right? Having a crush and wanting to pursue that crush. It's the beginning of a new relationship possibly coming in. So, Aries, you are resonating with 8 of Cups, but you have a King of Cups in your sort of covering, right? Your energy that's covering that center. And let's get right into it. 8 of Cups has shown up already for Sagittarius, I believe it was, or Leo. And 8 of Cups definitely talks about making an intentional decision to put up some more borders or boundaries for people, to stop pouring your love into cups that are unwilling to pour love back, or cups that just are not worth it. You know, they resonate very, how can I say, these cups are gold, and the cups you've been pouring love into are made out of tin, right? That's the example, right? What you have to offer, the person that you've been pouring it into just isn't worth it. And I stumble over those words because I really don't want to say that about people in general, that people aren't worth it. But it's the relationship that hasn't been worth it. The type of dynamic that you've been in has been really one that hasn't made you happy. It's sucked all your energy and you get nothing back. And so you've made a really intentional decision to stop pouring your energy into these type of relationships, Aries. You're covered with a King of Cups in the sense that you know very much what you want to do. You know what kind of relationship you want. And so at the same time that you're doubling down and setting boundaries and you're stopping people from sucking your energy, you're also kind of have an eye on some particular person or love interest that you do want. Because the King of Cups generally shows up when he sees what he wants. He sees the lover in his sights and he goes after him. He's not flighty like the Knight of Cups. He's committed. Oftentimes, the King of Cups can even be a little bit jealous or possessive at times. But the one thing the King of Cups does know is he knows exactly what he wants. He knows who he wants. And he's very determined to get them into his life, right? He's very committed. He shows up when he wants to have a long-term commitment with someone too. So King of Cups comes in when you're really trying to make a connection that's going to last with someone. This is not just a date. This is someone you want a wife or you want a husband with, right? Now you come into this period with a 3 of Cups. And you have Temperance energy. So you've been surrounded. I want to say this person you have your eye on is somebody in your social group. And you're biding your time because in your conscious mind, you have Three of Cups, which is being very sociable, hanging out with friends, celebrating. And so you are really keeping an eye on this person through this area of your life. But in the back of your mind, you're being very tempered with your emotions. You're trying not to let them, I think, Aries, you don't want them to know that you are in love with them, right? Some of you may be in love with a Sagittarius because Temperance is Sagittarian energy, and in the back of your mind, you can't stop thinking about your Sagittarius very well. But again, my regulars know that I hate to assign sort of that kind of specificity to a card because, yes, although Temperance energy is associated with Sagittarius, you could be dealing with someone who has Sagittarius energy anywhere in their chart. And they may not be a Sagittarius sun at all. And we don't always know everyone's natal chart. So I think it's a misnomer for people to start throwing out signs that you may or may not be dealing with. But you're certainly dealing with somebody who's resonating, perhaps maybe resonating with Temperance energy. But certainly you are Aries in the sense that you don't want them to know you're being very calm and calculated. You're not reacting when you're around them. Could very well be that this is a relationship that you were in previous, right? That either you or your person walked away from you and you can't stop thinking about them, right? It could be that your person walked away or you walked away from a particular connection in the past, Aries, and now you're realizing maybe you were too hasty in that decision. Because Eight of Cups does talk about that feeling of not, continuing with the love connection that is worth it. But if you're wrong, if the reason why you thought it wasn't worth it was for other reasons that weren't really valid or accurate, then sometimes people who make this move can regret it. They can say, oh, shit, I thought this person wasn't good enough for me, but actually they were. It was me who was having the toxic issues and the self-esteem issues. And so sometimes this can, I do have some feeling here for some of you that this may indeed be a connection with someone that you let go in the past, and now you know even more, you're kind of doubling down that this is the one you want. And your King of Cups is coming back in really to pull them back in. Again, this could be somebody, like I said, I feel though, that this may indeed be somebody that is part of your social group, and they may not even know that you still have your eye on them, and that's why you're really resonating with this calm, sort of reserved energy. Knight of Pentacles and Page of Wands is the energy you come into this period with and you exit with. So you come into this period with this definite idea of going after your goal. Part of your goal with getting this person, I think, is also raising up your abundance, getting your coin up, stepping your game up. And so your Knight of Pentacles is the energy you're coming into this December month with, which is a real sort of like commitment to making more money, increasing your abundance and your financial status so that you can also have that strength behind you as you make your way towards the person that's in your sights. Page of Wands is what you end the month out with, and so this is a feeling of overcoming fear. It could be that throughout the entire month, you're working towards this person, and it isn't until towards the end of December that you finally have the courage, really. Because Page of Wands talks about overcoming in the initial fear that you need to overcome in order to go after what you desire, right? And it could very well be that yes, you step your game up throughout this December period. You come into the month with that, and by the end of the month, you are ready to really make your step towards your person. You have two wands, and so this is a feeling of youthfulness and wanting, overcoming fear and going after your dreams, and also overcoming fear and starting a new relationship, right? And making that gesture. Really interesting. I want to say for some of you, you really work up the courage to come towards your lover. And again, if you are reconciling with someone that you may have hurt before, certainly would have been, if you're going back towards this person, Aries, I'm going to say this is certainly somebody that you are the one who left before and you're coming back into them because you're the one who walked away, not them. Right? Center card resonates with your energy. Now you come into this December period with a Queen of Pentacles and a King of Pentacles. So you approach this whole area of love with this feeling of Queen of Pentacles in a sense that, and you may be male or female, it doesn't matter. And you can be a female Aries resonating with King of Cups. This is about energies. But you come into this month, again, feeling very much like You're wanting to manifest something in your life. You know it takes a lot of effort. And your approach to this scenario or to this love connection is that you're really willing to put everything into it. You're willing to put everything into achieving it. You're even willing to sort of align your environment to it. So if you need to move closer to them, or if you need to change jobs, or if you need to, whatever it is you need to do with your physical environment, you're willing to do that to move closer to your objective of being with them. And they come, and that's very Queen of Pentacles, because she does put all of her effort into manifesting something, right? In this particular scenario, Aries, what you're trying to manifest, not only your abundance raising up and accomplishing a sort of a goal with business and career, but also part of that is bringing your lover in. This is you really trying to manifest in real life your dream. Aries, you are one of these signs that, one is the manifester. Whatever it is you desire, you want to make it, happen and formulate and manifest in your life right now. You wish to create it in a very palpable, hands-on way. And I think a lot of this Queen of Pentacles energy is towards that. This is the attitude you have towards your love life and your sort of financial status this month, in a sense that you want to make it real. You want to put everything into it to make this connection real. You want to be with them. You want to be able to say you're in a relationship with them. You want to maybe, you want to live with them. You want to have a life with them, right? Rather than still kind of hoping for them, still being in this stage of knowing that the relationship has the potential, but not having in any way manifested any of it. You're met with a King of Pentacles, and it seems to me that the person that you're interested in is also in their own right a very sort of ambitious career person or business person, and they are resonating with a lot of abundance and finance, right? And so I think part of your desire, like I said here, to step your game up is because you have to if you're going to try to be with this person, right? They already resonate at a certain level of abundance and achievement and sort of status, reputation, respect. All of that is already to a certain level because they're at King of Pentacles. They already have a certain amount of cash flow that allows them to live a certain lifestyle. And I think part of you, Aries, is that it could very well be that you left this person previously because you wanted to go and get your shit together. It may be that you wanted to go and get your career together, get your money together, build up your finances. And it could also, the scenario could have very well played out in such a way where you said, look, I'll come back to you when I'm ready, but I have to do this first. I have to finish college, or I have to get this business off the ground, or I have to achieve these goals in my career before I can really be with you. That can also be the nature of why you split with this person. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you left them per se because it was so toxic. It can also be that you left them because you simply were not able to also put energy into a relationship with them as well as putting energy into your career goals. And now you're trying to come back. And of course, your person is at a certain status. And I think for some of you, you are coming into the month and into this situation with this feeling of, well, look at everything that I've also accomplished. Now, you know what I mean? Now I feel like I'm at the level. Now, I've overcome my fears. I've raised my status up. I've raised my coin up. I've stepped my game up. And again, this speaks to not being so afraid to go towards your person because you feel like you've done everything that you wanted to do to prepare to meet with them, to come and meet them head on, right? And so that you want this mutual respect there too. It's quite interesting. Now, your hopes and dreams and your fears is justice. And I want to say for some of you, your hopes and dreams could very well be that you want to be in a relationship with them. You want to be married with them. You want to officially be with them. But a fear is also the justice card. And I want to say in a lot of ways, your fear is that they're already married or that they won't leave their current situation. Some of you may be dealing with someone, Aries, your eye may be set on someone who is already married, who is already in a relationship, but you are fixed on them in the sense that you believe you're the right one for them. And so in this way, you could be resonating with that. But that would be very, very, that's a toxic energy, Aries. I'm going to say honestly, that's a toxic energy. And I don't want, I really don't feel that this reading is for somebody who's that toxic, because that would be really sort of like dysfunctional. I'm feeling very much more that it isn't so much that that they're married or that you're worried about them being married, but I think it's more a case of justice is coming in this case because of equality and balance. You want this relationship to be a balanced relationship between the two of you, Aries. One of the reasons, again, why it may have split up before is because you just didn't feel like your confidence and self-esteem would allow you to be with somebody who made that much more money than you or who was that much more successful than you. And in order to have the relationship the way you wanted to have and to be sort of your own Aries person, it needed to be a relationship of equity and balance and sort of two people that are both equally successful. And so your dream here is to have a balanced connection. Right. And your fear is this position too. And I think you fear that despite all of the hard work you've done, it still won't quite be that balanced connection, that equal sort of rapport and respect that you really wish to have from them. This could also be a female Aries who is with a person that is at a certain level, and you just, you're also a very strong feminine or female or a strong feminine minded individual. And you want the relationship to be fair with your person who may be resonating indeed with a lot of masculine energy since they're coming in as the king. And again, it's a case of, feeling like like your self-esteem and your self-confidence is coming from your own sense of achievement and not just being with this person. Of course, the outcome could possibly be heartbreak, Three of Swords. It could turn out that indeed you have left and come back to someone and it's not possible. It doesn't work out after all of this. There's a Three of Swords, and this is a feeling of unhappiness, of someone not having been completely honest with you. And so for some of you, you may indeed be dealing with someone who turns out that they are, you may have left and you come back now, it turns out that they are married, or it turns out that they're involved with somebody, or this time that you took off from them to follow your dreams and everything turns out now that they're not available anymore. Right? Or maybe for some of you, they may have said, yeah, I'm going to wait for you, Aries, and now you're back, and they didn't wait for you. There is a heartbreak sort of like of miscommunication, of negative communication coming out at the end. But interestingly enough, this was necessary anyway, because this speaks to an Aries that no matter who they were going to be involved with, they needed to take this road anyway to follow their path and achieve their goals. And if it turns out that after all of that and achieving all of that, you come back to this relationship and it turns out that this person isn't there for you anymore, that this relationship is not really what you wanted and will end up being something toxic, then the goal here was still achieved, which was you still went down the road you were supposed to go down to resonate higher and to get your game up and your coin up. You see what I'm saying? So this is very much like the lesson is in the journey and not the destination. I think for some of you, you may even come together with your person and find out that you're really not altogether that in love with them anymore. Because remember, the only cup card that I see here really that talks about love is King of Cups, and he's talking about going after something that he wants. Page of Cups talks about a new love, and so I think in a lot of ways for some of you, you may be going back to a relationship that you think is going to be all great, and when you get together with them, you realize you guys don't have anything else in common with each other. Because also an interesting feeling here with these two is that they're really looking away from each other. There isn't a feeling of affection there between those two people for me in this reading. And so this could also be a real epiphany moment, Aries, in the sense that you wake up and you realize that a connection you've been pining away for, a connection that you've been, for a long time working towards getting back to for whatever reason, right? You've accomplished all these things. Now you come back home to this person, you find out that neither of you have anything in common and that there's no reason for you guys to be together anymore. All right, clarification. Four of Swords comes in. Two of Wands. There's your Seven of Cups. Okay, and there's your Three of Wands. All right, so bottom of the deck is Knight of Swords. All right, so In the Thoth deck, the Knight of Swords is the same as the King of Swords, and he really comes in with a lot of sort of, I'm going to say, power and authority, understanding and clarity. Really gets to the heart of a situation, right? He really tackles anything that is in his way in terms of figuring out the best way forward or figuring out a solution. This is really, you know, quick thinking, strong thinking, right? Now, interestingly enough, what's showing up is the Seven of Cups, and this makes everything kind of, you know, makes some sense now, right? In the sense of why, you know, why would you come back to this sort of, to this connection that you're really not into, right? And I'm going to tell you, Seven of Cups talks about really having sort of unrealistic expectations, but I'm going to get back to that. Four of Swords and Three of Cups. Yes, it's a strategy. It's a truce. You're with your friends. You're hanging out with your friends. And I think you're very much trying to sort of figure out how you're going to get next to your person. How am I going to talk to them? How am I going to strategize? You know, Four of Swords talks about, you know, really, you know, going back to your corners and figuring out your next step, right? It's a truce. You call it a truce. But you really want to move forward with this connection. And again, I think for some of you, you may be talking to your friends about this person that you have your eye on and strategizing. Well, how do I get in, you know, how do I get close to them? How do I, you know, get them to ask me on a date or ask them on a date? And there's a lot of planning and thinking around this scenario. Now, in the back of your mind, you have a Two of Wands and Temperance energy. Again, you're raring to go with this Two of Wands. You really want to move forward with this connection that you still feel like is what you want. You're being forced to exercise some temperance just, I think, this month because of logistics and because you're just not with this person now. You're around this person, right? And you're still kind of really dealing with the fact that you're too shy to tell them how you really feel. You don't feel the time is right, what have you. But you are raring to go. You're raring to push forward with this Two of Wands. But interestingly enough, you come into this month with this Knight of Pentacles. And this is what's funny. The Seven of Cups is like, you know, you have been on this mission to do all of this for this love affair and this love connection, but really, you know, Seven of Cups talks about a really unrealistic sort of wishful thinking, pie in the sky, sort of daydreaming. You've been chasing something, I think for a lot of you Aries, you've been chasing something that to a certain degree isn't really real. You've been painting this really kind of fairy tale story or love connection with someone that just isn't real or isn't there. And I think for some of you, you are going to very much wake up this December period to that. You're going to wake up and realize, because when you get close to your person, you realize the rapport, the magnetism, the heavy attraction, it's not there. They're not looking at each other. They're not connecting to each other, right? You're ending with a Three of Swords anyway. And so I think for some of you, you're certainly coming into a relationship that just turned, and I'm going to tell you, Aries, hey now, this message has just come into me. Some of you may have fucked up with a current relationship. This Eight of Cups may have been some of you Aries leaving a current relationship for the grass is greener on the other side sort of attitude, because you come in this month with Seven of Cups, and Seven of Cups is really, again, too much, you know, airy, fairy, daydreamy, sort of, you know, fairy tale sort of imagining about a situation that isn't like that at all. And you may have left the current situation to go after this, and this is why you end up with this Three of Swords, because you may have made a real mistake by leaving a current situation to go after something that wasn't really real. Right? Now, for some of you, again, this could be a scenario along, you know, with your friends that out in public, you've been very strategic because you were already involved with somebody and you're going after them. But if that's the case, you find out, yeah, this Three of Swords is not only you find out that you had no business leaving your current lover for this person because there's no connection, but all the way around you end up with a heartbreak because you don't get this person back. In either way, in either case, Aries, this is a case of you going after someone, either after leaving them previously or after leaving a current relationship. You set your sights on someone and you find out this month that this someone is not at all what you wanted or who you wanted, that there is no real love connection between the two of you. And you round out this month with this Page of Wands. Remember what I said about, having the fear to move forward? Well, you're very quickly hit with Three of Wands, which pumps the brakes and say, you have to wait a second. Things need to pan out naturally. You've been trying to orchestrate all of this, and life tells you that you're not in control here. Three of Wands makes you stand still when you want to move forward. Two of Wands makes you want to move forward. In the back of your mind, you're wanting to move forward with this connection. But towards the end of the month, just as you're ready to, just as you've overcome your fear and you're ready to sort of make this connection with someone, that life kind of pauses you and makes you stop. And it could very well be, Aries, because you find out some information that lets you know that this was really never going to be what you hoped it would be. All right. Fairness and equality is what you really desire, but you fear it also because I think for some of you that you haven't been very realistic about this scenario, and you haven't always been altogether fair. Because in either scenario, in either case, whatever happened with this connection, you were the one who initially left this. You were the one who initially instigated the space or the separation, whether it's with them or your current lover. So you haven't been completely fair either, Aries. But you do want fairness, and I don't think you're doing any of this out of, being mean or trying to hurt people. I think you truly believe that this connection was going to be this love of a lifetime connection. But you just wake up and realize, man, I got it so wrong. There's no love connection here. And all of this hard work that I've done to resonate up higher, to increase my own abundance and to overcome my fear of going towards this person, all of this work that I've done to learn all of these things, they were valuable, but they weren't ever intended for me to get close to them. They were intended for me to get someone else to come into my life. All right, my lovely, lovely Aries, I'm going to leave it right there. This is a very interesting reading about understanding and waking up to really kind of going after things that aren't what you think they are. And waking up and finding yourself at a place in life where you've done a lot of hard work and achieved a lot of things for a certain aim. But once you got that aim, you realize you didn't want it anymore. This is very much a story of the journey towards a goal, and the journey is really the most important thing. Once you reach your goal, you realize that it serves no purpose for you anymore, and you're ready to move on to the next step or the next goal. All right, I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share, Aries. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. But for right now, I'm just going to say, Aries, have a wonderful December, and I'll see you mid-December for the mid-month love check-in. Bye-bye now.